Hi, my name is Professor Correa, and this is video for Money Matters. Page 34 in your textbook. One thing I want to say that I missed in the last video on success is success starts from the inside out. If you want to change your perspective on a particular person or a concept or a political view or even money, we have to start from the inside. And so much of this class comes from that perspective. We have to change what is on the inside of us so that we can make it a part of us, part of our thinking, part of our new DNA, and then work it on the outside. So let's start on page 34 on Money Matters. If a lack of money could be an obstacle to your college success, get your finances in order now, not after it's too late. There's no point heading off on a journey if you're worried you will run out of fuel before reaching your destination. So I'm sure many of you have thought first, how am I going to pay for school? Am I going to start at a community college and then go to a four-year college or university? Or am I going to get everything here? Do I need to stop now and go to a technical institute? Do I need my GI Bill? Do I need scholarships, foundation money? Do I need a federal loan? I can tell you after a few degrees that started in the 90s, I'm still paying off some of my federal loans. And that's because I took on some that I didn't know anything about. It's really, really important that you know where your money's going to come from and how you're going to pay that back along the way, or if you're going to pay as you go. So money matters. Once you get on to managing your money, you will find it to be a new hobby. It's very exciting. Do not fear money. It is just an idea and a piece of paper. What we do fear is how much value this country and people in our lives or things we've been taught are placed on money. So just know that if you look at it square in the face, like anything you fear, like maybe this class, um, you will be able to manage it rather than it managing you. So on page 35, we're going to look at a level of education. This is a statistic from, looks like the 2016 current population survey from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So that's relatively recent. This looks at the level of education that you receive and the median earnings and your unemployment rate based on that. I will tell you that this isn't always right. All right. So I don't think I've said this to any of my classes before, but I do have a master's degree and I do not make that amount of money. This is only a survey. This is only a projection of where you could be. Hopefully the soft skills and hard skills you learn in school and in this class will give you the edge as well as networking to get you to make this amount. But in class, we will always do an exercise on making a budget. I will make a PDF that you can fill in during class time available on your announcements for this week. You can download that or print that off and fill it in. Let's go on to page 36. How you organize yourself and organize your money. You're going to track your spending, you're going to create a budget, and you're going to find a bank or a credit union in which to save your money or place your money. First of all, track your spending. Have you ever spent a bunch of money on stuff that you wanted or actually needed, and you get this kind of creepy feeling like, I'm spending a lot of money here? Yeah, you need to track all of that. You can do it in an app on your phone. You can do it on a computer, or you can do it like me. I put paper and pencil together and I write it down. I physically need to write these numbers down. All right, you're going to create a budget. If you can't afford a ton of cable or need to get a better or more let's say internet is costing too much, cable is costing too much. You've got to find a way to cut back on those. Maybe you're buying way too much at the grocery store. You need to cut back on those. That's what creating a budget can do for you. You can see where all your money is going and you can spend it accordingly. Excuse me. Find a bank or credit union. Free checking accounts that require no minimum balance or paid interest is advised. Savings accounts that give you an interest rate or give you money over the month is really important. And then make sure that the ATMs associated with your bank are free. Now, credit unions will um, be more free and more available to you than certain banks. But I have learned in my experience, I belong to a credit union and uh, they are not in the business of risk. So when it comes to a mortgage or a loan that you need, sometimes credit unions are not as good of a choice as a bank. So you might want to build a relationship with a bank and a credit union so that you can have those in place later. Or maybe your job has a relationship with one or the other that will help benefit you when you need a personal loan or a mortgage or something like that. Um, Increasing money flowing in. Number 4, apply for grants and scholarships that you need for school. Know the boundaries, know the limits, know your interest rate, know when you need to pay those back, and put those in your budget. Even if for years you just put 0, 0, 0, you're not paying them back. At least it's in your brain. It's starting from the inside, it's coming to the outside. All right? So know how you're going to pay for schooling and that sort of thing through scholarships or loans. Low cost loans. Depending on financial needs, Stafford loans may be up to $5,500 per year for eligible dependent first year students and up to $9,500 per year for eligible independent students. Know the difference between unsubsidized and subsidized loans. Know that your grants do not need to be paid back, your scholarships do not need to be paid back, but loans do, no matter who they're from. And here is a little asterisk to your credit report if you're interested in that. You can file for bankruptcy down the line anytime in life. I don't advise it. I advise you keeping a budget and not doing that. But student loans can never, ever be forgiven because those are mostly a government loan. And you need to know that going in. All right, page 39. Work. Know how much your work is going to not only impact your time and organization, but how much can pay your education. Sometimes employers you've been working for a while want to see you get continued education so that they can benefit from that education and they will pay for it. Another really cool thing is if you work for Starbucks, I believe they have a direct in to Arizona State University to get a degree there, and they will pay for some of that. Save and invest. Know how much you want to save. If you want to save for the summer, so you don't have to work and you can go to school. If you want to save for a trip to Africa. If you want to save for the cable bill or a new TV or a new computer that you need for school. Know how to do that. You might want to start investing now, even if it's very, very small. Find a savings account that gives you interest. All right, page 40. Decrease money flowing out. Avoid going out, spending tons of time eating at restaurants. You might want to just figure out 20 things that you can make at home and live off of those. Number 9, lowering transportation expenses. Are you going to take the bus to school every day or the subway? Or are you going to buy a car? Are you going to carpool? Know how you're going to spend money on transportation. Using your PPCC card, you get free rides on the bus to any location of PPCC, any campus. Use credit cards wisely. Do not live off of credit cards unless you absolutely have to. There are times in one's life where you have to do that, and you shouldn't be shamed about that. You might have to do that and pay them off later, but you have to know, put them in your budget, make that decision slowly and constructively. Number 11, choose credit cards wisely. Look for an interest rate. Look to see that you have a low interest rate. They will rule your life if you're not careful. Use debit and credit cards wisely. Of course, that is cash, and you should have that in your budget. Pay off high rate debt. This is stuff that I'm not going to go into because I am not a financial advisor. And in fact, even telling you to start a budget is advising you on your finances. And I cannot be responsible for that. I am not a financial advisor. I am a teacher of AAA and a professional musician. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just reading out of the book at this point. Page 42. Avoid credit blunders. I'll let you go ahead and read that. Use tax credits. Also, this brings to mind if you can apply for scholarships that have to do with a particular culture you are from, or a particular income level you are from, or a particular talent that you have, using that kind of scholarship is really smart if you're going to use scholarships to go to school. Bottom here is examine each expense line in your financial plan for possible reductions. That's why you have a budget. That's wonderful. You're going to go through there and see, how can I cut cable bill? How can I cut phone bill? How can I cut down on my groceries? How can I cut down on my rent? And we're going to go through this in class. Finally, on page 43 are different ways to calculate. Looks like a few apps that you can use. And that is the end of chapter 1. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.